I am here with Dan Wanazek, also known as Manga Man of the Manga Man Reviews channel on YouTube. And Dan is the winner of the Pokemon Sun and Moon video game competition that was held at this year's convention. So, Dan, let's start at the beginning. How did you get into Pokemon and into competitive play?
Hi. Well, for getting into Pokemon in general, like most kids, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I got into it via the Pokemon anime series. Some of my most fond memories is waking up like at 4 in the morning to my brothers watching the episode where they came across a Snorlax for the first time in the series. But outside of that, I started off with Pokemon Yellow and been playing the games ever since, like non-stop, all the way up to Moon presently.
And what was the team? You don't have to go into the full details, but what were the 6 Pokemon you chose for this one?
The 6 Pokemon I chose, I wasn't too prepared for this one, unfortunately, so I relied on an older team of mine, but with one new addition. And that included Aromatisse, the Alolan Marowak, which was the new entry, Jellicent, Scrafty, Diagonal, and Porygon 2. And this is my Trick Room team.
Yeah, definitely a big user of Trick Room there. Your Porygon is what usually will set that up and obviously try to reverse the speed order. All right, well, was there any particular strategy besides the Trick Room part? Any combos you were trying to set up there? It was a doubles battle, so anything particular there?
Well, my go-to opener is usually Aromatisse with Scrafty. I get the Intimidate on my opponent's side of the field to take care of any physical attackers. Plus, Scrafty can also fake out any potential threats. Now, I was worried about the Misty and Psychic terrain, mostly Psychic terrain for canceling out priority moves, which I had during one match, and I had to just change up my strategy that way by not using fake out. But what I love about using Aromatisse is its Aroma Veil ability and canceling out Taunt, which has always been the bane of Trick Room teams for a long time. And I love using her. She is surprisingly bulky, always gets my opponents off guard. Even double going into it, unless they use a powerful Steel or Poison-type Z move on her, she's not going to go down.
Yeah, that is obviously Fairy's vulnerability there. All right, well, what worked well for the team in the tournament? You did win it, but are there any particular moves that stand out?
Well, Marowak in particular, I was going to be bringing some other Pokemon, but I just didn't have time to bring it in. So I switched out Earthquake with Boomerang. Now, Boomerang is great for those Pokemon like Gigalith, which was in this competition, that has Sturdy ability, taking it all the way down to its Sturdy and then finishing it off, as well as taking care of those pesky Mimikyus with its Disguise ability.
Yeah, there's a definite way around abilities like those. Let's talk about the finals. Now, this is a double elimination tournament, so you had made your way through the winner's bracket. So you only had to win one of the games, but the first game, it looked like you were gaining an edge there, and then things sort of turned around. What happened in the first game of the finals?
The big clutch moment of the match, and even though I love using Marowak, that 90% accuracy on that Boomerang, I feel cost me the match for it missing the Mimikyu. If I would have been able to take out that Mimikyu, I would have been able to cancel out his priority and then focus more in on the Metagross and taking that out.
Yeah, that first match ended in kind of a strange way. It was down to his Metagross, which was burned against your Porygon 2, and there was some Trick Room involved. He eventually got a critical hit to knock out your Porygon 2, so we ended up having to go to the second game, which was winner take all. You obviously won that. How did that kind of play out? Did you learn anything from the first one?
Well, for this one, I knew that he wasn't going to have any Pokemon that were using Taunt, so I forgoed using my Aromatisse and instead switched in Jellicent. I knew it wasn't the best matchup with all of his Dark and Ghost-type Pokemon on the field, but I kind of thought it would be a nice pivot Pokemon to bring in. And plus, I didn't have too many other options. Diagonal, I wasn't too sure about bringing in because of that Metagross and canceling out the Poison-type move. It probably would have been better to bring in Diagonal instead, now thinking back on it. But I did forget about the Dragonite. He kept setting up those dragon dances, which he was just getting slower under Trick Room. But with extreme speed, he was able to counteract that and take out one of my Pokemon in the early phases of the match.
All right. Well, you sort of suggested a few things there. Any changes you might make if you use this team again?
Yeah, I am planning on using a couple of different Pokemon and experimenting them with still. I found out that Alolan Executor, a Dragon Grass type, does get access to Trick Room, so I am excited on doing kind of a split attacker Trick Room setter with both special and physical. I also have another Alolan Executor on the wings that will more utilize the Frisk abilities just so that I can use Dragzeum, the Z-move crystal for dragon types, so that I can utilize Draco Meteor that way and not have to lose special attack.
Gotcha there. All right, well, as I mentioned earlier, you have your own YouTube channel where you do reviews. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and some of the stuff you've done recently?
Yes, Manga Man Reviews. On YouTube, it's under the channel name Genius Incarnate Zero. I know, silly title, but I made it in high school. I've been doing reviews for 7 years now, mostly cover whatever I want, but recently I've been doing these special annual month reviews every January. And last month I did a Poke Month where I looked at all the Pokemon movies, specials, and OVAs. And this upcoming March, in honor of Digimon's 15th anniversary, I'm also going to be looking at their movies, specials, and OVAs. I am going to be going on to a new channel, the Brotherhood of Geeks, which will be premiering in June. So that's my title plug for them here. But anyways, if you want to look at Poke Month, best look on my YouTube channel. I also have month reviews for Studio Ghibli, and of course my favorite anime series, Lupin the Third. Those you can only view on Dailymotion for now. So go to dailymotion.com, type in Manga Man Reviews, and you should be able to find my channel that way.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dan. This has been Stephen Reich from Anime Milwaukee 2017.